Hey, welcome back to Coin Flip. I'm Derek Wu, flying solo tonight. No coin flip needed for this one because everyone doing PSLF already knows the stakes. If you spent years chasing public service loan forgiveness, the Education Department just made a move you need to know about. They confirmed they're rolling back payment counts for some borrowers. CNBC reported that Thursday, and Forbes has been chasing the fallout ever since. I read about one borrower who logged into their account and watched years of progress just disappear overnight. No warning. We'll cover exactly what happened to them first. Then we trace how the department's own explanation shifted. It started as a vague data error. It's not that anymore, and the wording change matters. And just so we're clear, this is a completely separate mess from the Save Plan lawsuit everyone keeps lumping it in with. Different fight, different borrowers, different headache entirely. There's also an advocacy group raising a bigger alarm whether some of this could reach loans already forgiven. We'll check how solid that warning actually is. After we sort through the why, I'm giving you 3 things to do tonight if this is your loan, before you burn an hour refreshing a dashboard that isn't updating fast enough to tell you anything new. And we'll close with the one move that actually matters here, so you can put the phone down and stop treating your loan portal like a slot machine. So, about that borrower whose count dropped overnight, here's what we actually know. 94. That's the number some public service loan forgiveness borrowers are staring at this week. If you were sitting at 118 last month, that number just reset your 10-year clock overnight. If you're angry right now, that's fair. Nobody should find out their progress vanished with 0 warning. No warning email, no dashboard banner explaining anything. The Education Department confirmed it happened after the fact. Forbes reported this week that the department rescinded qualifying PSLF payments for a group of borrowers. And some people found out through an actual letter, titled, and I'm not joking, Qualifying Payment Count Reduction. It lists the exact months that no longer count. Somewhere, a government dashboard is treated like it's more reliable than your bank statement, your tax return, and your own memory combined. CNBC reported one borrower posted on Reddit that their count dropped from close to 120 payments down to 94 overnight. CNBC says the department hasn't disclosed how many accounts this touched. Could be dozens, could be tens of thousands. And that gap between 118 and 94, depending on your repayment plan, that's years of extra payments you thought you'd already made. PSLF forgives your entire federal balance after 120 qualifying payments, 10 years working in government or nonprofit job. CNBC, citing Brookings, reports roughly 1.2 million public servants have already had loans erased, averaging close to $75,000 each. For a teacher or a caseworker, that number is a house down payment, not a rounding error on a spreadsheet. One more thing. This is separate from the Save Plan mess. Different program, different court fight entirely. If your count moved this week, this reversal is the cause, and the Save lawsuit has nothing to do with it. So who made this call, and why did the number move now instead of 2 years ago? Building on that anger, here's how the department's story actually shifted. Call centers first blamed a vague data error. No details, no timeline. Then it changed. Forbes reported today the department now admits these reductions were deliberate, not accidental. They're calling it a fix, coding errors baked into the system back in May 2024 under the prior administration. Okay, but which errors? That part still isn't spelled out. The College Investors Review of Borrower Accounts narrows it down some. Their analysis points to 2 things getting flagged: months where forbearance was never actually processed as a payment, and time spent in extended or extended graduated plans. Those plans used to count towards your 120. Now the department says they shouldn't have. So if your history has either of those, you're probably the target. Not every PSLF borrower is affected the same way. Separate problem, totally unrelated. The college investor also flagged a posting lag, July and August payments not showing up for a lot of accounts after the department's July 1st system overhaul. That one's not a policy decision. That's just a rebuild that broke something. 2 different problems, sitting on the same dashboard, confusing everybody. The department says most adjustments are finished, But the banners on studentaid.gov still warn counts could keep moving, not exactly comforting. And Forbes reported that Protect Borrowers is raising a real alarm that loans already forgiven could get reinstated. Nobody's confirmed that's actually happened. It's a warning, not a headline. But when the department won't say which months it pulled, verifying your own count becomes your job tonight, not theirs. Enough anger for now. Here's what you actually do tonight. 3 steps in order, no skipping. First, open studentaid.gov right now and screenshot your payment count. Write today's date on the image, by hand if you have to. Why the date? Because if your number moves again next month, you need a before picture. Otherwise, the department can just say it was always this way. Second step, and this one surprised me. The college investor recommends you stop trusting the dashboard total entirely. Download your MyAid.txt file instead. It's a full export of every payment on record. Then compare it month by month against your own pay stubs and employment certifications. Slow? Yes, but the dashboard gives you a number, the file gives you a paper trail. Third, go find your employer certification forms. Pull bank or payroll records for any stretch you think vanished. Start with the same forbearance and extended plan months we already flagged. That's where the cuts are concentrating. I'm aware this sounds like homework nobody assigned you. It is. Do it anyway. 20 minutes tonight beats a fight with a call center in March. Think of it this way. Right now, the department holds the only copy of your history. Building your own copy is the only leverage you'll have if they're wrong. And no, checking the dashboard 4 times a day doesn't count as documentation. It just counts as stress. Once you've got that folder, screenshot, TXT file, records, you've done tonight's job. What you do with a mismatch and why waiting might actually be the right move after that, that's next. Building on that documentation, here's what happens if the numbers still don't add up. You file a PSLF reconsideration request through federal student aid. Not a phone call, not a tweet. The actual form with your dated screenshot and your MyAid file attached as evidence. That's your one move tonight. Now, is this a lost cause? Not necessarily. Scott Buchanan, who runs the Student Loan Servicing Alliance, told CNBC that some of these corrections are actually going to push borrower counts up, not down. So the recalculation cuts both ways. File the appeal, because the math might be in your favor. Okay, so let's sort the decisions here. Worth your energy? Document everything now, appeal the second a number looks wrong, and keep certifying your employment every single year without fail. Those 3 things protect you no matter what the department does next. Not worth your energy? Refreshing your dashboard every morning like it's a stock ticker. It updates on their schedule, not yours. And quitting your nonprofit job because you're worried about a program you're 8 years into, don't do that. You're not starting over. You're one appeal away from getting back on track. If this were a coin flip, check the site daily or check it once a week. Flip the coin, pick weekly, and go live your life. The real decision, the one that actually matters, is whether you filed that reconsideration request. Do that this week. Everything else is noise you get to ignore. Okay, that's the show. Let's land the plane on the big one. If your PSLF count just dropped and you're furious, that's fair. That anger is earned. But here's what actually matters tonight. Forbes reported the department now admits these reductions were deliberate, not some glitch they're quietly fixing. That distinction changes how you respond. A glitch, you wait it out. A deliberate policy call, you challenge it. So you challenge it. One sentence, if you remember nothing else. Screenshot your count tonight. Then file the reconsideration request with federal student aid. That's the move. Everything else, the forbearance flags, the extended plan math, that's context for the appeal, not a reason to sit on your hands. And no, you don't need to refresh your loan dashboard every 4 hours like it's a stock ticker. Do the 3 steps, file the request, close the tab. Advocacy groups like Protect Borrowers are warning this could go further. Actual reinstatement of loans some people thought were forgiven. Forbes flagged that risk is still unconfirmed, not settled, but worth knowing before you make any big financial moves this year. So, here's the actual takeaway. When a government process starts changing its own math, don't argue with the number.
get proof of what the number used to be. That's true for student loans. It's true for basically every bureaucracy you'll ever deal with. If you made a call today, filed the paperwork, printed the screenshot, whatever it was, that's a win. Small decisions add up. Subscribe so you catch the next one, because knowing what changed today doesn't help you if you don't know what changes next month. And if you've got a money decision you're stuck on, student loans, something else entirely, drop it in the reviews. Might just flip a coin on it next week. Thanks for spending this time with me. I know PSLF math isn't exactly thrilling, but it's your money and your years of payments, so it's worth 30 minutes. That's CoinFlip. Go file your paperwork. I'll see you next time.